Oh, that was dope, fellas. What's going on with y'all, man?
Chilling, man. Chilling. How everybody doing, man?
Man, I can't complain, man. I can't complain at all.
Hey, man.
The last game was against who was the last game against?
The Raiders.
The Raiders, man. So we came out on top of that, man. And I've been saying for a while, I think we just got to learn how to win ugly, man. I think it's important for a team that's young like this. Like, we can't come out here all the time and beat somebody 41-21 or 28-10 and stuff like that. I think if you're a young team at this point with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, I think the quicker you learn how to win ugly and not always win pretty, I think that's part of the development and the culture that you need to be established in part of a football team. So we won an ugly game, Allen. We had 4 field goals. Offense couldn't get it right, but, we had the defense step up, and Caleb was pretty good at the end of that Raiders game. And that's what it matters. They say football games are won in the fourth quarter. So what's your thoughts on, before we really get started into to this game right here, just what's your thoughts on the Raiders game and so far from Ben Johnson? What have you done?
Well, the Raiders game, I believe that was a game of testament of will. The game really wasn't going our way, but we found a way to win the game. Like, you have an imprint on the game, and we fought to win the game. Like, we had to scratch, claw, kick, screen. We had to do all the above to win that game. So those are the games you got to win to start separating.
He's still in the early processes of Ben Johnson offense. He's learning how to become a leader. He's protecting the football. He's not getting as many sacks. He's understanding that Rome Odunze is his number 1 wide receiver. So going into this week, man, just what are your thoughts on Caleb Williams? What do you think his mindset is right now today, going into tomorrow night?
Well, the one thing I do believe that he's really grasping is the humility of being the quarterback. He has a lot of humility, man. Like, I seen the end of the game against the Raiders, and Ben Johnson wanted to give him the game ball. And when he got the game ball, he kind of didn't want it because he doesn't want any of the attention.
Right.
Like, he'd rather bestow the attention on his teammates. He don't want the attention on himself. And that was a little thing I seen, and I felt like if this young man keeps that type of integrity, he's going to go far in this league, because if you're a quarterback and you get the team to rally around you, that takes humility, not arrogance, not brassness. It's confidence and humility. I'm here to serve my teammates. And that's what I get out of Caleb in the leadership role. Once he gets the verbal part where he can then command the locker room, that's going to be in his next phase of development. The football thing is one thing. I think football talent, he's above a lot of people in the NFL. But it's the little things that quarterbacks in the NFL have to have longevity. And longevity requires humility. The guy that comes to work, leaves the work last, like work after practice, bringing up the worst receiver you got in order to be good as the group of receivers you see on the active roster. So if Jahdae Walker comes up, he's ready to go because Caleb is keeping him abreast in practice where it'll be seamless when he comes to the game. That's what I love about Caleb, and I feel like what he's going to do going forward is his approach and his humility to the game.
Yeah, man, and I agree with you, man, because it's always, we look at some of these players and it's not always the arm. It's not always the arm talent or the arm strength. Sometimes it's being vulnerable, man. Understanding that, you get up on that podium and tell people, look, I'm not perfect. I did this wrong. I could have threw the ball to DJ a little bit more. I could have threw the ball to Cole Kmet more. I could have been better. So the fact that I think he's natural at that because of what's going on from what I'm seeing from him. All we saw from Caleb Williams was he was a Hollywood and he was a superstar. He was all about Caleb Williams, and that's been totally the opposite of what we've seen from Caleb Williams since he's been here. I think when he first got here, he took his offensive lineman out to dinner.
Yeah.
You never see Caleb Williams throwing his teammates under the bus.
Never.
You never see Caleb Williams talking about his coaching, about Ben Johnson in a negative manner. So, and you always see Caleb Williams with his head down, looking forward to the next game. And I just think that, the fact that he didn't want that ball and he didn't want the attention from getting the game ball, just letting you know that a young man is pretty much dialed in and is just ready to win. I think he feels like he got the right coaching staff, he got the right play caller, he got the right number one wide receiver. I think he also feels he probably got the right GM at the moment. So I think he's under a situation where he's just growing as a quarterback, whether it's from the offensive line. And I always said this, because even though that offensive line right now is not perfect, you still got Dolman. He's not looking too good all the time. And Sonny, some of these guys are not looking good. But I always say, if you are overwhelming talent, you can make average talent look great. And I think that's what Caleb Williams' ceiling is. I think he's the type of quarterback to where he's going to be so great at everything as far as the intangibles. And you mix that with his physical raw talent, he can make things around him that's not as good and make it look great. So I think that's what he's trending towards, and I think he's learning. I think he learned how he came into the NFL. It humbled him a little bit, 68 sacks, Eberflus, Thomas Brown, Shane Waldron. I think a guy, sometimes you need to be humble to understand that everything ain't a walk in a cakewalk. Everything is not going to be lined up ready for you to go. Everything is not guaranteed. Everything isn't easy. And it's going to test your character. It's going to test your audacity, and it's going to test your competitive nature. So, and I always thought that Caleb Williams was a very competitive.
Been kind of playing with him, and they're having fun playing with him.
Yeah, because Alan, they say that adversity doesn't build character; it reveals character, right? So we got a young man that's looking like the character that was always there, and everything wasn't good. Now that everything is like it's getting there. So, just what's your thoughts on that? Like his character was revealed because we didn't really know. You don't really know a person until they're tested, until their back is against the wall. So his back has been against the wall his first year and a half in the NFL. So just what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, coming out of like last year, what you were saying with the vulnerability. Right. If you notice anything about Ben Johnson, Ben is very vulnerable to his players. You seen when they were rubbing the top of his skull, like, during the game, they're pushing him in the back of the head. Like, he's small enough as a coach to come and talk and be amongst the players. And it's not being a player's coach. I know it's the biggest misconception, but it's the fact that I'm here for you guys and I'm serving you as your coach. And that radiates to the quarterback. When the quarterback see the coach act that way, now he can be more vulnerable. I like what you put in there. If you don't know what vulnerable looks like around a bunch of men, it's kind of hard to project that. But if you see your head coach being vulnerable with the team and allowing himself to engage with the team, and I like the schoolboy spirit that he has with the guys, like it's a connection. So that's what Caleb is developing, a connection and an ability to open up and talk to his teammates and hug DJ more. We didn't see that last year because he didn't know what really to do with DJ. DJ's the veteran. He's the better player at the time. I'm trying to acquiesce to him, but I don't know how to do it. Now he's just like, man, I'm just going to hug him. I'm just going to talk to him. I'm just going to, not be afraid to challenge DJ. And vice versa, DJ is open to whatever the team needs because winning covers all, G and C. Right. When we win ball games, people smile a little bit wide. They walk a little bit taller. So those things radiate to the locker room, man. And that's what I love about this team and I love about Caleb. Winning is going to take care of all the other things. If we do the winning things, like Ed Reed say, y'all remember when Caleb was getting on the team about picking up stuff in the locker room?
Yeah,
y'all remember that last year?
Leaving trash and all of that. Yeah.
Ed Reed did that the Super Bowl year. He told Coach, these dudes don't want to win. They sloppy. They don't want to do the next. They can't even put a damn towel in the trash or in the dirty clothes house. So how the hell are we supposed to win? Those are the small things that radiates through the locker room, man. People take it for so much granted. But it's the little things like that you are accountable for the little things. For everything that you do as a grown man, you are accountable. And that's what I like about this team and I like about Caleb. It's the little things that he addresses that make the team, well, I ain't gonna say make, but he gives the team the ability to see the other side of him in a leadership role by example.
Man, well said, but we're going to get into some comments, but we got Soulback Sports and Hay reposted the stream. He says, bear down, gentlemen. Yeah, man. Shout out to Amron. We got Darcy. What up, Detroit? What up, though, as they say in Detroit. He's a Lions fan, one of the OGs, man. They lock in with us sometimes. Then he says, what you think, Lions and Chiefs? I roll with the Chiefs. For some reason, I think the Chiefs might upset you guys, man. That's just my thoughts. But we just going to get back to what Alan was talking about as far as Ben Johnson and what he means to the team. And he segued into the perfect way for us to talk about Ben Johnson and what he's been as far as his coach. Because what I'm noticing about Ben Johnson is every young man that's in sports, if they have a father, they need an extension of that father in that sport to a certain extent. So the fact that Caleb Williams is taking on to Ben Johnson's leadership, the way he's mentoring him, the way he's not coddling him, the way he's holding him accountable, the way he's showing him that, I'm not above the team. Me as a coach, I make mistakes sometimes too. The fact that he's becoming a role model for Caleb Williams, and Caleb can't get away from the structure, and he can't get away from the good coach. Like I said, a good coach can sometimes come off as a father figure. And when you young as Caleb Williams, even though he came in like 21, 22, now he's probably 23, this is the type of stuff that you need to stay on the straight and narrow as a football player and as a man. Caleb's father, I know he probably talked to him all the time, but at this point in his life, Alan, he's spending more time with his head coach than he's spending with his father. So I think good coaches, and especially guys like Ben Johnson, I think he's great as a father figure for him. Am I on track with that? What do you think about that?
Nah, you spot on, man. Hey, it's a such thing as a man's man. We've heard that growing up. Right. They said about my grandpops, he was a man's man. Right. Those are the things that you have to develop inside of your manhood. Like, I know we might be going off a little task, but it applies to football.
It do, right.
This applies to real life. And what Ben does as far as his representation and projection, that goes to Caleb. And Caleb now has the ability, he has the template to look at and know how to carry himself around the team. Last year, he was a rookie. He didn't really know how to do it, and nobody was there to show it to him. Matt Eberflus was too busy worrying about his fucking haircut. So, he's right. He could not function amongst me. He's not a man's man. He's a hell of a defensive coordinator, but he's not a man's man. And that head coaching position needs that trait of a man's man. You got to be able to go in there and tell a guy that's wife just left him, G. His wife just took everything from him. He just went through a divorce last summer. You can't go in there and kick him in his ass all day, because guess what he gonna do? He gonna stop. He gonna stop working. He gonna be like, man, fuck Ben. So Ben is not that type of guy. Man, take a couple of days off, big dog, and come back, man. I'll cover for you. Say undisclosed reasons, approved absence. Little things like that can go a long way with me. You know what I'm saying? Because you understand. Yeah. So that's the type of stuff that breeds confidence in the locker room, that we got a coach that's going to stand over. Now, he is going to call you out if necessary, but I know he knows when to do it and when not to do it. It's really about the win and the win and nots. That's when, that's the thing about great coaching and being a man's man.
Yeah, man, and I agree, because Ben Johnson, we all got to pretty much learn who he was. Is he going to be the type of player, a type of coach, that's going to burn out his players? Is he going to be too hard on his players? If we were hearing reports about Ben Johnson that he's just mean and he's his way on the highway and all this other stuff.
Talking, all the guys are around him. Nobody is walking away from him. Everybody is around him. Everybody's paying attention to him. When he speaks, he commands attention when he speaks. And you could just tell that that's the biggest thing from him, and how the players is rowdy around him. Yeah. And that's the head coach that I would like. That's the head coach that I like.
Yeah, I agree. I think everybody's gravitating towards him. He's backing up what he's saying. You know what I mean? It's one thing to walk the walk, but you got to be able to talk the talk. And I think when it came down to it, and he benched Braxton Jones, I think that resonated in the locker room as well. You know what I mean? Like I guess I always say Ben Johnson comes off to me like he doesn't have a lot of patience for foolishness, and that's what you need as a head coach to get your team to where you think they should be. But we got Donna Lim saying tomorrow can't come soon enough. Feels like the biggest game of the year. So we're going to move on to the next part. But I just want to talk about Ben Johnson. So Alan, when he benched Braxton Jones and he adjusted mid-game and he put in Ozzie Trapillo and he put in Theo at left tackle, then you had Trapillo at right tackle, and that pretty much helped us win that game. So the fact that Ben Johnson is able to handle every situation like he can handle his quarterback, who can be a little bit eccentric, he can handle DJ Moore, who can be a little bit temperament and moody. He can handle offensive linemen who are not playing right. You know, he just seems like a guy that was equipped to handle any type of personality on his team to get the best out of them, or if you're not, I'm gonna get somebody else. But the fact that there's multiple personalities on the team and he's pretty much handling the situation with certain players, that says a lot about Ben Johnson, right, Alan?
Yeah. And you know what, CNG, he basically the offensive line needed a shot in the arm. And I had to be Braxton, you know, because watching film, the interior of the offense is getting smacked around too. But Braxton has not solidified himself as his best fighter. And he's been saying that it's no real secret because he's been saying it all training camp. And it just took a part for him to say, you know what? I've seen enough. So, you know, he's got to go with Theo and just see what we can get. He might be lightning in the box at the left tackle. He might fix this for right now. But we know Braxton ain't it. That's what his that's what him and the conversation is with the coaches. Braxton ain't it. So I'm gonna ride with him because that move was a chess move. And I believe now the other veterans are gonna now say, I gotta get in gear because we got a coach that's holding people's feet to the fire. And that's what you need to keep the balance in the locker room.
Yeah, I agree. So CJ, let's get to the football part of it. The Washington Commanders, man, I don't think their defense that good. I don't think their secondary is that good. So what are your thoughts on how you think Ben Johnson will exploit this team tomorrow, man? Like, what are your thoughts? Because I'm getting to the point to where I think, and I like to say this a lot, I love saying this, that I'm glad that I don't know what Ben Johnson is really going to do until the game get here. Like, it's cool to have like a script and it's cool to have an identity. I think we still need an identity, but I do like the fact that there's a little bit of mystery to what Ben Johnson is going to do. So if you got any inkling, you know, or any idea, what do you think about what Ben Johnson is going to try to do to exploit this defense, or what you think he should do, or what's your preference, or anything like that?
I mean, my biggest thing is I think the Bears got to keep the running game going. I know they don't have much at the running back position, but you got to keep that going because you don't want to go in a passing match with Jenny Daniels. We seen Caleb do that last year. Yeah. So you kind of want to get that running game going as much as you possibly can to open up your offense. And hopefully we'll see that running game going early, and then we can see the offense open itself up. You know, Ben Johnson in their offense.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, we got to do it. I just feel like they have not seen this duo all year. So they're going to have to cover a lot of ground tomorrow. And I think it's going to work in reverse. We're going to open up the run game through the pass. I think it's going to open the run game up because now safety's going to be out the box because they're going to be worrying about the passing. So now we're going to start running the ball with single high. Now we get some field day. Now we got to get our guys to moving people out the way. That's my own thing with our offensive line. We got to move guys from one end of the room to the next. We're not doing that. We're just touching guys. We need to move people. That's what offensive linemen do. We move people. So when that comes up, man, that's what I believe we're going to do tomorrow night. That offense is going to be explosive tomorrow. Really, you know, I just got a feeling, man, we're going to blow the top off.
You know what? And I agree with both of y'all, but I tend to agree with CJ just a little bit more on this because I was on the same wavelength. Like, I want to see the ball being run because I've seen in this season so far that even though it hasn't been great, At the end, if you stay with that run game, you are going to wear that defense down. Because there were a certain couple of plays, DeAndre Swift is like he's trying to get in there. He's trying to get in there. He's trying. First 3 quarters, he can't do it. That fourth quarter come, and you didn't ran the ball as much as you can down that defensive line, then boom, you get a 9-yard, you get a 12-yard, you get a 14-yard. So I'm looking forward to seeing that run game get established, but at the same time, I'm looking for these guys right here. These guys are pretty much top 2 combo wide receiver and quarterback right now, Alan. You spoke on it just a little bit, and you prophesized to me because everything you saying already, I pretty much already got the graphic for. So we on the same wavelength tonight, man. So you cooking right now. But with that being said, Roman Dudes and Caleb Williams, man, what is it about their chemistry, their camaraderie, their football acumen and IQ? Because you can say, okay, one was the number 1 overall pick, Alan, and then one was the 9th overall pick. But what is about them that you think, Alan, right now that have them clicking so well? Is it the Ben Johnson scheme? Is it them wanting to be hungry? Is it them wanting to be just great? What do you think, Alan?
I think it's time together. You know, you got to think about it. They were drafted together. They've been together in rookie minicamp, regular minicamp for 2 years in a row. It's just they know each other. They hang out together. Like, they have like a distinct brotherhood. And that's what gives him the advantage of Doomsday with the other receivers. Now, Doomsday just has that blue chip ability. Yeah. Like, we can't ignore that about Rome. Rome is a blue chip play. Like, he makes Caleb look really good. Like, because it's like they instinctual. Like, when it's a fire drill, Rome is looking for Caleb. Find my numbers. You know, in a fire drill in football, find my numbers as a quarterback. Find the numbers. That's what we're taught as a quarterback. You know, going back to Little League with our quarterback, find the numbers. What coach say, when they fire drill, come back to the quarterback. Rome has been beautiful with that. He always find the vision of Caleb. He always like, I'm going to be wherever you need me to be. So that's why I believe that this is going to be one of the best duos in the NFC for a long time because of their trust with another. That touchdown with the Raiders on that post route, that was trust.
That was trust.
That was trust. Because I didn't even trust that he was going to throw the damn football. I don't even know if Rome did, but Rome ran right up under the football like it was nobody else on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody was covering it. That was a 7-on-7 drill. So that's what I believe these guys have is a trust, a blind trust. If they go play in a dark room, I don't think I hit a football hit the ground, y'all.
Right.
You know, if that makes sense. Like, if they in a dark room throwing the football will not hit the ground. That's because they have trust with each other and they know where each other's at without even seeing it.
Yeah, and that's something you said, blind trust, and that's what I was saying about Caleb. He has to start throwing blind. Like, you have to do that. And that pass you talk about, that post route, that was one of his best anticipatory throws because he threw with so much anticipation and trust that it worked. Like, in order for Caleb Williams to be the next great quarterback, NFL, top 5, top 8, whatever, he's going to have to make throws like that routinely, because the windows are only going to get smaller and smaller, CJ, in the NFL as we go along. Caleb Williams, those throws like that was one you could count on and be like, you know what? He's seeing it feel better and he's trusting his wide receiver better and he's anticipating his throws because you can't sit back and hold that type of ball and expect a touchdown out of that round. You just can't sit back and just wait for that type of pass. You got to throw that motherfucker with some trust, with some blindness, and just say, I'm gonna let my number 1 wide receiver get it. And CJ, and that's what he did. You know what I'm saying? So hold on, CJ, I'm gonna let you speak. He says, got a list at Sled Party. Adult is a very good round runner for a size, literally a safety net. So CJ, just the fact that these two guys have been together in their second season, you know, I think Caleb is really starting to understand the physical traits of Rome. He's seen Rome in the weight room. He's seen Rome in his playbook, you know, and vice versa. You know, Rome has seen Caleb stay late after practices, after games, and working on his craft together. So the fact that they each other, they're becoming symbiotic, we're starting to see the fruits of that type of chemistry and trust on the field. Is almost a complete quarterback. And I think I heard somebody say that he's not good at throwing to his left. So tomorrow night, man, what do you want to see from the Chicago Bears defense before we get into all the players on the defense? Just your overall thoughts on Jaden Daniels and how can he destroy a defense? How can he hurt us tomorrow?
Jaden Daniels give me shades of Randall Cunningham. Randall Cunningham was a long, lean quarterback, and he had a high arcing throw. It seemed like he throwing and hitting the moon before it come back down to the ground. Like it's just, he's got that type of style of game, and he's slender. The thing with Randall Cunningham, what teams used to do, they didn't worry about a sack. They wanted to make him play in a phone booth. That's what I believe we got to do with Jaden Daniels, is not worry so much about getting home, but making him play in tight windows. That way he can't get out of anything. He's got to sit in the pocket, stand down the barrel of a gun, and make throws 40 times a game. We got to make him make throws on the back of his foot. Like, everything he does is a stretch. If you let him run around the yard, we're going to be in trouble. Because he's one of them guys, when he gets to moving around, he gets confident. So we got to keep him in that box, that phone booth, and make him throw those short throws what he don't really want to do.
I think Tyreek Stevenson could have a big game tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna get to it. We got a couple of comments from Dine and Live. Says, I truly believe the offensive kinks are getting ironed out every week progress into the season. Then he said, I'm tired of seeing him bringing basketball on the field pregame. I just don't like this dude. Lucky Hail Mary. Yeah, man, it was a lucky ass play. And then people, and I've been seeing it even in our own, in the group chats I am in, that, him and Caleb's stats are not that much different from each other, man. It's just that
Caleb was actually better.
Yeah, Caleb is actually better, and he was just in a better situation overall to win games. I always say, and I know Alan's going to agree with me, CJ, like a quarterback is not going to win you a game alone, but he can lead you to victory and close you out. And
he had a better coach. He had a better coaching staff.
Yeah, and it's a better coaching staff. So that's really the only difference I've seen between him and Caleb Williams. But the thing about Jaden Daniels that I want to be annihilated is him running around, bro.
Yeah.
He can throw off the run too. He can throw off platform. I do not want to see that. I don't want to see that at all. I don't want to see our linebackers, which I'm going to bring up. I'm going to just segue into this because we get our guys back. I think TJ Edwards is healthy now. I don't want to see none of that running around shit, man. I need our linebackers to be in their box. I need them to be drawing down on him, not getting the ability to run, not seeing the ability to cross the line between the lines. I don't want to see none of that shit. So I need my 6'5" linebacker in coverage. I need my knock a booger at your ass linebacker being ready to tackle his ass. So Alan, man, you started off talking about the linebackers, and that's going to be a crucial part to this game because you have to beat this kid at all levels, whether it's your linebacker, your safety, your defensive line. But we're going to talk about these linebackers. And what are your thoughts on what you want to see from your guys tomorrow, Alan?
Well, I tell you this. If I was Coach Allen, I would shadow Jaden Daniels with Tremaine Edmonds. And I would tell him, Tremaine, your guy is Jaden Daniels. On every play, if he stays in the pocket, you stay in the middle of the field. If he runs out, you run out. So we're going to play assignment football tomorrow. My defensive lineman, keep him in the pocket. Keep him in the pocket. That's what we got to do. And then Edwards, he's going to have to cover some guys tomorrow as far as in the flats. He's got to be disciplined. And that hamstring I'm pretty sure they're going to try to come after him a couple times. On probably some flares or things like that to make him move across the formation. So I personally think our linebackers are up for the task. Tremaine Edmonds is definitely up for the task. If you tell him to shadow, he's the only guy I would want to shadow him. Other than Brisker, I would want Edmonds to shadow Daniels across the field. Like wherever he goes, that's your man on this field. That's your guy, the quarterback.
Yeah. So CJ, these guys right here, you got your coverage linebacker. I do think Edmonds, he's been better, man. Some of his numbers this year are crazy. He's damn near a top 5 linebacker in a lot of categories, man. That just lets you know that Dennis Allen's scheme, what he got him doing right now, fits him. I mean, he's not perfect, but he is effective and we just don't want to see him missing gaps because sometimes he misses some crazy gaps, man. This opens up some big ass things. He just does that, man. So, CJ, what's your thoughts on these linebackers? Do you think they're going to be able to contain him?
Yeah, I think Edmonds can contain. I think Sewell will have a pretty good game when he gets in there.
Yeah.
I see him coming in for TJ. You know, I don't see TJ playing a whole lot of snaps.
Okay.
Because he's coming off an injury. I mean, that's how I would do it. But yeah, I think the Bears linebackers definitely do have an advantage in this game. As long as they stay disciplined and get to their gaps and tackle and not overrun their gaps, I think they'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with both of y'all, man. I agree. We got Audrey in here saying, "Hey, what's up, CNG Podcast? What's going on, Miss Audrey? How you doing on this Sunday evening? Nice to hear from you." And we're gonna talk about a guy right here, man, that's been pretty much. He's been better this season. He showed up as that QB, as that corner CB1 with Jalen Johnson that's been out multiple games with interceptions, setting the tone for the defense as a DB. I think this dude right here is going to have a great game, Allen. I think he's going to come out. He's going to chase Debo around a lot. We don't have to worry about McLaurin. We don't have to worry about, I think, another wide receiver. But this guy probably has the most to prove tomorrow. So, Allen, in order for Tyreek to have a good game tomorrow, for just wash away the narrative, just the narrative, because we as fans have been watching Tyreek these first 4 games, we can say, you know what? He's been playing a lot better. He's taking the coaching that Al Harris and everybody's giving him, and he's really maturing to a great player, good player. But in order for him to have a good game tomorrow, Allen, what does Tyreek Stevens have to do to get that stank up off his name against this one particular team?
I would think, man, he got to get a couple turnovers if he can. Interception strips. Because one thing about it, Debo Samuels is one of those guys. He's a full quarter wide receiver. First quarter, he's going to challenge you in the run game. Second quarter, he's going to challenge you on out routes. Third quarter, he's going to challenge you with creepers and drag routes across the middle of the field. He's going to make you work across the formation. And in the fourth quarter, who knows what's going to happen with it. He's so dynamic as a football. He's not really a wide receiver. He's an ATH. He's just an athlete, that can really cause a lot of havoc. So you got to have your mouthpiece in with him because he's one of the guys, if he turns around and run the football, he's a running back. So he's going to be at work tomorrow. That's all I can say about Tyreek Stevens. He got to come to work, tighten that chin strap up real tight, and I believe he's going to be in for a football game. And if he plays solid, that's all I can ask for, man. Don't play out of sort. Just play solid, man. That's all I can ask for Tyreek.
Yeah, and we got down the list at Tyreek revenge game. I think he's going to be good. My thoughts on him, he should just be worried about his assignments. Don't miss tackles. Don't get burnt. Don't over tackle. Don't overrun. Don't be overly aggressive. Don't come out here and try to be the hero and get us burnt on the play that we don't really need you to do. Just make sure that you're doing exactly what you need to do. Make sure that you're ready to play, man. I think he's going to have a good game. I would love to see a couple of interceptions. That would really help his confidence, man. I think that would really help this team because I think things like that end up changing the team's morale. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was such an ugly look last year as far as the Hail Mary, him waving to the fans, and then he tapped the ball and it went in the end zone. So I think the only thing that he needs to do in order for him to have a great game, he'll have a good game regardless. I'm sure he's going to be where he needs to be as far as tackles. He don't miss too many tackles. He'll tackle the hell out of somebody. But yeah, I just think that a couple of interceptions, maybe just one, I think that's going to make this game as far as the defense side of the ball. If they see Tyreek Stevens come out there with an interception or a forced fumble off of what happened last year, CJ, that's going to carry us to a victory tomorrow night. I promise you. And if that happens, I will clip this up and I will post this, and y'all going to be calling G Walker a prophet. But if he come out here tomorrow and he's kicking ass and he's taking names later with an interception, maybe 2, CJ, this is going to catapult us to a win based off what everything that went for last year. But what's your thoughts on Tyreek, man? We're gonna move on.
Well, I think the first, I think definitely for the first couple games, he's been really focused as being that number one DB with JJ being out. So
Right.
I expect that from him to continue because I think Coach Dennis Allen got confidence in him that he can do the job, and I think I think Ben Johnson got confidence in him. So all the BS that he did last year, I think that's past him.
Yeah,
I believe it's past him just by the way he's been playing. So I expect him to really have a big game. The only thing I want the team to do is not be so focused on revenge, but just take this game as another game. You don't want to get too over. You don't want to get too overthinking and thinking I got to do this or I got to come out here. I got to do that. If they just contain Jaden Daniels and just make him a pocket passer, they'll be all right.
Yeah, man. And I agree with you, man. But I know for sure. I know if I was on that team and I was with you on the team last year and that happened to you, bro, and you one of my guys and you get an interception or two, bro, I'm going to play my ass off for you this game, bro. We about to go crazy. So, Tyreek, man, do it for the people, man. Do it for the teammates tomorrow, man. Get you an interception or two and really, really change the momentum of this football game tomorrow night, man, because I think if it's you that get the interceptions, that's going to carry us. I guarantee that's going to carry us to a victory. We got Carlos saying, what's good, guys? He's saying, bear down, man. What's going on? But we got another guy I think that's going to play tomorrow. Allen, Kyler Gordon, the Swiss Army knife for the team. Probably the best defensive player we have on our team when healthy, man. You talking about a guy that could spy. You talking about a guy you could put on the blitz package. You talk about that could play in coverage. This is the guy right here. We finally have him back. So, Allen, just your thoughts on having this weapon back, bro. Tomorrow, Dennis Allen got to be smiling from ear to ear, licking his chops because he was like, man, I want to go to Chicago and be around this young man right here, Kyler Gordon. So this is another guy that can do a lot on our team, Allen. So what are your expectations of Kyler Gordon along with the linebackers now? Because you got Evans that can spy, you got Kyler Gordon that can spy, you can put him in packages. So it's opening up the playbook for Dennis Allen to do a little bit more this week with this guy back. So what's your thoughts on how Kyler Gordon can affect this game and what he can do to help us win the game?
I know a lot of people think that he's going to be good in coverage, which he will be. But I think where he makes the most I would say impact is run fits. When we go nickel, which nickel is probably 60% of the NFL now. You're going to be in nickel 60% of the time on a football game. Gone are the years where you got 3 linebackers on the field at the same time. Those days, other than the 3-4, they got 2 rush ins. Right. Those days are numbered. It's just 2 main, unless they go base formation. But with Gordon is so good with run feeds and contain, keeping things inside, flushing the football inside. He does not break contain too often. And he cleans up a lot of stuff because he's always in front of his blockers. That means he's throwing his body around and he's selling out against the run. That's something you didn't see from Nick McLeod. Now, Nick McLeod did a good job in coverage, but with run fits, he was not coming down in there. He wasn't attacking the line of scrimmage like a nickelback supposed to. And so Kyler Gordon, one of them guys, he throws his 180 around like 300. So, you know what I'm saying? So, so that's why I believe Gordon is going to really bring an attitude to the defense when we go nickel. And when he comes on the field, he just gives you a lot of variations that you can do. He can blitz from the nickel, which sometimes you got to keep Jalen honest that he knows pressure can come from that position. Then sometimes you got to see he's keeping contained. So Dennis Allen got another option back. And like you said, pretty much our best defensive player back.
Yeah. So, CJ, this is going to be another situation where this guy hasn't played all year, man. It's his first game. It's against the Commanders. He means so much to the team. This is another one of those situations where if you Dennis Allen, I'm telling him to calm down, bro. Like, this your first game back, man. You've been hurt. We know you a dog. But it's probably more important to tell guys like this to relax, stay in your box, stay in the integrity of the defense. But when you get your opportunities to come down and hit that quarterback or get that interception or get that strip fumble, man, do it. So, but just what's your thoughts on just making sure that your players and the defensive coordinator, you're keeping your energy good. You know, you're not over energy, you're not over positive, you're not over hyping. Because this guy's going to come out there and be flying around. That's just what Kyler Gordon do. Do you let him loose? Or how do you feel about him? That's like, man, I got to let this kid loose. Because you don't want to get burnt by Jaden Daniels, man. That's the thing. I can see if it was a different quarterback that's not as good as him as a runner, off-platform thrower. But this kid can do it all. So I'm a little bit more cautious with this young boy, man. But what's your thoughts in this Allen, man? Like, we need to calm down, but we got to make sure that we destroying him and keeping his ass together. But at the same time, we can't overplay our positions.
Yeah, I think containment is going to be the key in this game.
Yes,
because of the wide receivers, you know, of the Commanders, they like to get up underneath the ball. Jay like to throw it up there, get 20, 30 yards. So I think this containment and just him containing his gaps, I could really see him being a player that's a factor in the running game.
Yeah,
because you know that's been the Bears' Achilles heel this season. It's stopping the run. So I can definitely see how Gordon is going to play a factor in that. So I think if he's containing that defensive line, you know, because that's been the Achilles heel of the Bears, and him kind of being that spy on Jaden Daniels. I think he could be another person that can spy Jaden Daniels, and just make him into a one-dimensional quarterback. I mean, Jaden Daniels, he's gonna try to run. You know, he's definitely gonna try to do it. But I think what Kyler Gordon does a pretty good job of is keeping players in front of him. You know, not letting too many players get behind him and make plays. And he does a good job of getting his hands up. Yeah. You know, so I think containment is really the key. I don't know how much I would let him go wild, let him go loose. I don't know if I want to do that in this particular game. I kind of want to change it up. If I was the Bears, I kind of change it up a little bit. Make Jaden Daniels see different types of defenses out there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. Because like I said, this young dude is scary as hell. He got a little bit of Michael Vick in him, man, as far as like his speed. Like, he's not only fast, but he's quick. Like, Jaden Daniels is quick. Like, before you go, he got 12 yards on you running. That shit scared the hell out of me, man. So as much as I'm hyped to have Kyler Gordon back and Tyreek back here, my linebackers, man, I think the name of this game is going to be containment, spying, and just playing, you know, in that zone. Like Alan said, man, you can't have him just willy-nilly throwing the ball all around, giving them every angle to run, gas you, and just gas run you. Like, hell no. So containment is key. But Alan, I think we're getting this dude right here back after 4 weeks off IR, man. And we know, and this is that's our last segment. We know our defensive line has been terrible. We are expecting a guy that's a rotational player outside of that defensive line that we paid all this money for, and a young guy in Dexter who's looking to get paid. We got Montez, we got Billings, we got Deo. You know what I'm saying? We got all these guys that's supposed to be setting the tone on defense and in the run game. They not doing it. But this dude right here, everybody saw him pretty much flash and have 3 sacks, I think a forced fumble, and a strip, all that shit before he got hurt, man. I think he's going to come in here and help right away. So, Allen, man, we get Austin Booker back, man, but I don't know, man. I just think that I'm happy that he's back because we need help at pass rush, but we shouldn't be that excited to have this guy back because of the guys that we already paid to be starters. But I am excited that he's back because I think he can help. But it is what it is. So, Allen, man, tomorrow Austin Booker could be back. So, just what's your thoughts of us finally getting him back, and how much playing time and how many reps you think he can get? Because, like you're saying, if they can bench Braxton Jones at left tackle, somebody on the defensive line gonna get benched if this dude is really gonna be playing. I think Dennis Allen gonna do the same thing that Ben Johnson did at that left tackle. So if it's anybody tomorrow, Allen, that's not playing, he's gonna pull somebody to get Booker more reps. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think if I was Coach Allen, I'm looking at two players. That's Dale and Dexter.
Right.
Who do I want on 3rd down and 8? I'm starting to lean. I'll scoop Dale because Dale moved inside and out for Indianapolis. He was a pretty good interior rusher in Indianapolis, and that's what Allen liked was his scheme diversity, his scheme versatility. So when you got Booker on one end, which he's a speed rusher, and you got Swift, you got Sweat as a power rusher and a run stuffer as the DN. Now you got more balance on the defensive end, and you got more defensive pressure coming from the left side. So I believe Dexter will be the one that they'll take out on passing down, which he gives you nothing on passing down. And he reaches up, he's tall as hell, he can catch an alley-oop, good basketball player, whatever. But right now we need guys who can get to the football. So I feel like what Booker's going to bring is a scheme diversity where he can push Dale inside along with Grady. Then we're going to have Sweat on the opposite end. Now we got a guy who motor runs at 100 miles per hour all day. Booker is all out all day. You know, he don't like being blocked. He hates being blocked. And when he is blocked, he's still trying to find the football. I love kids like that. Like, if you watch him on tape, he hates being blocked. The only thing about it, he's so frail and little, he gets thrown out the club a lot. But that comes with being light in the ass in the league. He can always get stronger. Every year he's going to get stronger. But the one thing you can't teach is mentality. His mentality is, I'm going to make you work all day long. I'm not going to hug you and go to the sideline for 3 downs, like a couple of people we know. We're just going to hug for 3 downs and go to the sideline. I'm tired of seeing this shit, CJ and G. I'm tired of hugs. I need motherfuckers going to get to the football. So that's what I need out of Booker. Somebody who's going to make the offensive lineman not hug him, and he's seeing the back of his jersey. I need DNs like that.
Yeah, you're right. Tired of hugging. Tired of acting like we at the junior prom and shit, man. Like,
dancing and shit, man.
Ass, man. It's not playing. Get to that, man. But I can't wait, because I guarantee you, if he come out there with a good game, and if you think about benching somebody, that next game, somebody getting fucking benched. I don't think Dennis Allen gonna have the patience. Just like Roschar came out there and said, hey, look, we like your pillow, but his ass ain't no left tackle. Look, Ben Johnson, Braxton, we're going to give you a couple reps at left tackle, but at the end of the day, if you ain't doing your job, your ass getting benched. And I think that's the whole coaching staff. So it's going to be some changes. This young man actually comes out here and just is not necessarily he getting sacks all the time, but if his motor, like you said, is running high and it's affecting the game, just from that standpoint, somebody ass is getting benched. And I guarantee it's going to be Dexter. But CJ, just what's your thoughts on Booker, man? I'm glad we got him back. I hope he's more not just a revelation. I hope he's somebody that can really just come in and under Dennis Allen take a starting spot, probably from someone like from Dexter, if that's the case. Because we need somebody to be able to win one-on-ones, bro. We need somebody. Yeah. We need one person to get the party started. But just what's your thoughts on Booker now that he could be playing tomorrow, man?
I mean, Booker could definitely do it. You know, he's very active. He can get his hands up, cause a lot of problems for the offensive linemen. So if he just brings any type of pressure, I think that'll change the game for the Commanders a little bit on offense. That's all I'm asking for. Just get your hands up.
Right.
You know, beat your offensive lineman if you can. Right. You know, just be destructive as much as you can.
Yeah. That's it.
You know, that's all you got to do.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. We need guys that motor runs high, especially as a defensive end. You need the motherfucker that don't stop, man. More that get tired at the end of the third quarter, then he sit down for a while, but he come in that fourth quarter, whoop your ass. That's what we need. We're gonna get into the injury report right here, man. I'm gonna take everybody off, even myself, so we can all. The Commanders, you know, a last second situation to where Oh, it don't let us talk. Damn, it don't let us talk down like that. Damn.
No, we gotta be on stage.
Oh, we got to be on the stage. I thought you could talk in the background, but I was just saying, Alan, we got Gary's out. He's not practicing. He's not in there. Hold on. Let me see if I can move this. Yeah, there we go. We got Grady that's out. Austin Booker questionable. Travis Homer's questionable. Coastal Lovin's questionable. Cairo. So, but what do you think this really means? You think Ben Johnson just holding his cards and he going to surprise the Commanders and all these guys when we play tomorrow? But what's your thoughts on the injury report, Alan?
Oh yeah, this is just hide and seek from a head coach. If anybody got a broken toenail, you going on the injury report. Like it's just like, you know, it's just one of them type of things. Bill Belichick used to do this all the time. 20 people on the scouting report. I mean, on the injury report. So you don't know who the hell gonna play. So that's just one of them things that you do. It's just a little bit of cat and mouse. But I do believe Grady Jarrett will probably be out. I think we can concur. I can see Colson Loveland not playing. Cairo Santos, I don't think going to play. Briscoe's definitely going to play. TJ, Kyler, Jonah Jackson definitely going to play. Kyle Monunga is going to play. Donnell Wright's going to play.
Donnell Wright's back. We got to talk about that.
Back.
We got to talk about that, man, because that was something that we was all talking about when Trapillo got to the right tackle. But at the same time, we got Darnell Wright that's looking like that's his position. Like, he's not trash. You know what I mean? He ain't trash, and he's looking to get paid. I mean, he can get moved to the left tackle and all that shit down the road. But tomorrow, man, he's coming back as the starter, Alan. He coming back. So, I don't know how y'all feel about this, man.
Yeah, Darnell Wright's our right tackle. I mean, I think pound for pound, he's our best offensive lineman as far as youth and age. Now, with technical skills is Tooney, but raw talent, you got to go with Donnell Wright. He's just a brute of a guy. He just got to cut down on penalties. That's his problem. It's the operation of football that he gets tangled up in.
Yeah. We got Celeste. Shout out to my homegirl Celeste. She came in and said, "What's up?" Then she also reposted the stream. We got Eduardo Gargot from Greetings from Mexico City, man. What's up, bro? Bear down. Shout out to you coming to the CNG podcast all the way from Mexico City, man. That's dope. And before we get out of here, man, we're just gonna go over a couple of comments that people that we had in here, man, before we pick our scores and MVPs and all that. We had Dine and Live coming in here. He reposted the stream. We had Soback Sports in here, man. Shout out to Emran. Said bear down. We got Darcy came in here. What up, though? He asked with the Lions and Chiefs. What y'all got for the Lions and Chiefs, man? Before I move on to the next comment, who y'all got?
I got the Chiefs winning.
Yeah, I picked the Chiefs for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I got the Chiefs winning a close game. I think the Lions gonna make it kind of tough for them.
Right.
But I think Mahomes can pull it out at the end.
Yeah. All right. So we still had Down to Live in here, man. Then we had who else we have in here? Audrey came in. How you doing, Miss Audrey? Said, hey, CNG podcast. And Carlos came in here. Said, better out. What's good? And then after this, man, we're just gonna get to the last part of the show, man. We're gonna pretty much talk about MVP, what's the score, X Factor, stuff like that, man. So with that being said, CJ, we'll kick it off with you, bro. What's your score of the game? Who's your MVP, offense, defense, and who's your X Factor, man? What you got?
Okay, I got the Bears winning in a close one. 27-24. I'm gonna say the MVP of this game.
I got his picture. Whoever you say, I got you. Who is it? Who is it? I got a lot of people up here.
I'm leaning towards Caleb.
Hey, MVP.
I'm leaning towards those two, but I'm gonna lean towards Caleb because I think Caleb is gonna pull it out tomorrow, some type of way.
I like it.
On defense, I'm gonna say Tyreek Stevens.
Hey, Tyreek, defense MVP. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Alan, man, same thing to you, man. Who's your MVP, offense, defense? Who's X Factor or whatever, man? What's the score, man? What you got?
I think I'm gonna go with a blower. I think we're gonna kick their ass. I think it's gonna be like 31-13. I think this gonna be a coming out party.
Like,
we're due for a perfect game kind of. Like we're just due for it. Like, and I feel like we got some good rest. We getting guys back that really make a difference. Our blue chip guys are coming back. So that's why I believe, man, we're gonna beat them up pretty good tomorrow. And it's gonna be a statement game going forward. And I would say the MVP tomorrow is gonna be DJ Moore. Okay. I feel like DJ Moore, something about DJ Moore in Washington. DJ Moore loves to beat up on Washington. And I believe all the attention is going to go to Rome. He's going to take away some coverage. And it's going to leave DJ one-on-one most of the night. So I think it's going to be a lot of that. Then it's going to be DJ in the backfield. So my defensive player of the game is going to be Tremaine Edmonds because I think he's going to have a major role in containing the quarterback and covering when plays break down tomorrow. Because that pocket is going to break down a lot. And guys like Tremaine Edmonds usually flourish in plays like that because it's all scripted. Right. You know, he's got to chase somebody and make a play. That's where he's strong at. It's the attack, and at the point of attack is where he gets in trouble. It's when plays are designed to go at him with a direct blocking scheme is when he gets in trouble. So when he's got to chase somebody, make a play, get interception, get his hands in the zone, that's his game.
Yeah, and we done had 2 weeks to prepare and got key guys coming back. Let's go. Yeah, I'm super hyped for this game tomorrow, man. Like I said, I'm getting to the point to where I can't really predict what Ben Johnson can do just because he's that great of a play caller. You know what I mean? And what he's going to do. Like I really can't really say. But my MVP for tomorrow's game is Ben Johnson. I think, like Alan is saying, I think this is going to be probably like almost a blowout. I think he's going to pick on that secondary. I think he's going to run the ball well. I think he's going to try to play smash mouth football. I think he's going to establish multiple things during this game. I think he's well prepared, way more than Eberflus ever was coming off a bye. I think Ben Johnson is extremely intelligent. He's extremely organized. He's extremely analytical, and I think he's been studying this game ever since our Raiders game, and I think he's well prepared to have everybody clicking on offense, man. I think our offensive MVP is our head coach. I think it's going to be Ben Johnson. And I think the defensive player MVP is going to be Kyler Gordon, man. As much as I want to sit back and contain and say he needs to play, you know, and I think it's him, man. I think he just has that much of a talent. I think teams kind of forget about him because he's not necessarily on the defensive line. He's not necessarily a cover corner all the time. So I think he can play around in a lot of places to where he can make a lot of impactful plays. He's just all over the field. And I don't think it's going to take a couple of weeks for us to see that Kyler Gordon is going to be killing it tomorrow night. I think we can expect probably a forced fumble, a hard tackle, a sack. I just think he's going to give us everything he can, man. As long as that hamstring stays up, I think he's going to have a very, very, very good game. And my score for this game is I'm going to say the Bears are going to be 28-14. Bears win. That's it, man. CNG Podcast. I'm G Walker, man, one half of the CNG Podcast. And CJ, you can tell them who you are, man.
Man, I'm CJ, the other half of the CNG Podcast. You already know what it is, man. Bear down.
Bear down, man. And that's pretty much going to end our show. So if you like this, man, please like it, repost it, share it, quote it, whatever you want to do. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on YouTube, man. Then we got Alan right here. He came right back in. Alan, we was pretty much wrapping it up, man. I just gave my MVP. I said my MVP on offense is going to be Ben Johnson. My defensive MVP is going to be Kyler Gordon, because I think it's not going to take a long time for him to get ready. Like, he could be anywhere. He can be in coverage. He can be on the blitz package. He can be in the run defense. I think we're going to see this guy do a lot of damage because I think a lot of teams forget about him. He's not coming off the edge all the time. He's not a defensive end. He's not necessarily cover corner all the time. But in a whole 4 quarters of a game, with this much talent that this guy can give you when he's healthy, he can destroy your team and disrupt a lot of things, whether it's the run game, the pass game, the certain packages, he can kill you. So this is my defensive MVP. I got the Bears winning 28-14. And that's it, man. I'm G Walker, the CNG Podcast. There's CJ, the CNG Podcast, and that's Alan, man. There might be a post-game show if we win. I'm on the road right now, and but it might be a post-game show if I think Shad is up for it So if we all up and the energy's high, you know what I'm saying? The laptops are charged and CJ is up and I'm up, man. We'll pull up and have a little quick 30, 40-minute post-game show, man. The last one was pretty good that we did on a late night. So if y'all up, we up. If not, we'll check with you guys the next week, man. So with that being said, we out of here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace. Bear down. Go Bears.